I thrifted these 2 glass blocks. I really hate the word thrifted. It just sounds so pretentious for some reason. I got these 2 glass blocks at a thrift store. This one's gonna be the A-frame shape, and it's going to be lit with these LED strip lights. The other one is going to use a more traditional light bulb. It'll have a socket and a hole, and the light bulb will go up in there, but the light bulb itself is roughly the same size and shape as the glass block. The next step I need to know is what angle to cut up here. To figure that out, I just needed to know which of my legs is the shortest, basically. So none of the ends are squared and some of them have chip out and stuff. I drew a line across where I want to cut each of them. That gives me my long point on my triangle to put into my calculator. So each of these is 14 3/4. For my short point, I think it'll look nice if the legs, the outside point of the legs is the same width as the glass block. So I just measured the glass block. That's 7 3/4. Put all that into the calculator. That gives me this angle, which is 30 degrees. So that means I need to cut 15 degrees here and 15 degrees into the other one in order to glue those together and make it a nice miter. Once the top is either glued or clamped in place, I'll measure down on this leg, same amount on this leg, draw a line between the two, and that'll give me a flat base. This is going to break it off immediately again. So this hole is for a wooden dowel to go in. This is going to go in both of these leg pieces, and then I'll have a wooden dowel that'll connect the two. That'll give it some strength this way, so that if you press this way, it's not going to shear the glue joint. If you're really careful, as you go, you can feel the bit start to push on the wood just before it comes through, so that allows me to get kind of the maximum hole depth. And you can see that I'm slowing down now as I know I'm getting a little bit closer. Right there I can feel it starting to press on the back of the wood just before it comes through. So I'm going to back out, and there's my hole. So what I'm feeling here is I'm feeling that little, some people call it the snail, some people just call it the screw. I like the snail. You guys want to see a really cool trick? This groove would be like impossible to cut in this piece if I were to put the piece in the vise, and then, because this is the fence, and normally you would push the tool over the part, but because it's so thin, there wouldn't be enough to clamp it, because I'd only have like 1/8 to clamp onto. What I'm going to do is instead move the part over the tool instead. And you know, you can tell it's a really cool trick by the fact that I'm so scared of it that I need to wear gloves. Yeah, definitely wear gloves, because I've felt the blade now a couple of times. Maybe just don't do this. So this jig here, this piece of pine, supports the back fibers, because if you were to just plane across the end grain like this, it's going to chip out, it's going to break those end fibers off. So you just register your piece to that fence, and then that's perfectly 90 degrees to where the plane is going to run along. I put that towel in to, because there was a little bit of, it was clamping this one, the lower leg, which is apparently thicker than the top, so it wasn't fully grabbing this. There was just a little bit of play, and I don't want that to work my glue joint apart here, so I put a paper towel in there just to gap that enough, basically, just to give it a little more pressure, and that worked pretty well. I guess I could have looked at the camera. You can probably see me, can't you? Yeah. All right. That is lovely. And then off. Oh, that looks so good. I have some things I would change, but I love it. Oh, yeah. That is so cool. It looks like the A is like if you turn it, it looks like the A is just glowing because it's hitting, the LEDs are shining that side and then just hitting and immediately scattering along all this shape and texture that the glass block provides to it. Oh, it is so sharp. I don't know if I can sell this thing, man. This is nice. I like this. Anyways, next lamp, no time to enjoy. This is an 1.5" auger bit. It's not cutting worth a hoot. I sharpened the thing. I don't know if it's just because it's end grain that it doesn't want to pull in, but normally I have no issue with auger bits. So, modern problems. I don't even know if that's deep enough. I don't think it is. So I need a whole nother 1.5". I need double that. I could use a spade bit, but God, I hate those things. Obviously, I won't put it in upside down, but it'll go down in there. Oh, come on. No flames. That's a good sign. Oh yeah. Oh, God. You would think that the number of times I've glued things up, I would remember to just grab a rag in advance. One concern I have here is this has a bit of play in the socket, and so it could very easily look crooked if I'm not careful. Put a little shim piece right there, that little nub. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to wiring. That was part of the reason for doing these, is I wanted to challenge myself in that way. I also, with this one particularly, I wanted to challenge myself in terms of like how to route the wire. This one was much more, I liked the cubes on cubes and stuff like that. I do like this one being kind of a square with a triangle, and then you have the circle of the brass screw, but those have a square within the circle because they're square-headed screws. There's a bit of a shape kind of language going on there that I really like. I'm really happy with both of them, honestly. I couldn't be much happier. Normally I leave with like some kind of inspirational advice. This time I don't want to leave with very much because I've been trying to think less, spend less time in my brain, less time, this is going to sound weird, but trying to get better at everything and improve all the time. You can get too wrapped up in reading advice online and looking for solutions to your problems and figure everything out as fast as you possibly can, get to the finish line, as early as you can so that you can just coast from there in life. You can just enjoy your life, and that's that. I've been trying to instead focus on here and now. I've been spending less time on the internet, and I've been consuming less advice, particularly from the internet, because everybody's got an opinion, and this is my opinion that you are watching on the internet. Reconnect with kind of what's right in front of you and what's around you instead a little bit more, because I've been trying to do that lately, and it's been really helpful. It's been really eye-opening how much I have missed that and how much I used to do that when I was a kid because we didn't have the internet. So I'm trying to, even when I do get on technology, it's like I'm playing a video game and the video game is about this, or I'm watching a movie and the movie is about this. Instead of, I watch a 5-minute YouTube video about this thing, and then I'm watching a 15-minute video about this thing, and then I get on my phone and scroll there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Instead, focus on the here and now and be a little bit more intentional with my time, spending more time reading, spending more time outdoors, meditating every day, listening to music less, listening to podcasts less, and just trying to listen to the ambient sounds of the room and go for drives, even though I have nowhere to go necessarily. I just want to drive around and look, out my window while I'm driving. I hope that you will do the same. If you enjoy that, go for a hike in nature. Read a book instead of watching YouTube, what have you. And I know this is weird advice coming from a YouTube video saying to get off YouTube, but don't watch my videos just because you want to watch something, just because you're filling time or whatever, And I know that's not a very good business strategy, but I don't really care because that's very important to me that I stay true to kind of who I am and what I believe as far as that thing goes. And that thing is, camera died. So as I was saying, the point that I want to drive home with the YouTube channel and with the stuff that I make and the person that I am is trying to connect with the people that are in your life, trying to connect with the world that is around you. This is all a long way of saying I think that most of our problems in life, we will find the solution to simply through living. That doesn't mean that you don't need to try. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't work or, try to dig a little deeper sometimes, but it's all a balance. And if you dig deeper all the time, that's not good either because you'll be constantly thinking instead of living. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.